parotid gland, nerve supply of parotid gland. So this is a salivary nucleus, salivary nucleus. From this salivary nucleus, we have a nerve coming to the otic ganglion. This is otic ganglion. This is otic ganglion. And from otic ganglion, we have nerves coming and supplying the parotid gland like this. We have nerves coming down and supplying the parotid gland like this. Now tell me, what is this nerve? Preganglionic nerve. It is glossopharyngeal nerve. So it is glossopharyngeal nerve. Please don't forget, preganglionic nerve is glossopharyngeal nerve. Postganglionic nerve is auriculotemporal nerve, which is a branch of what nerve? Which is a branch from trigeminal nerve. Which is a branch from trigeminal nerve. So please don't forget, we have salivary nucleus from which the parasympathetic nerves, this is parasympathetic supply, is going through glossopharyngeal nerve, which is very closely going through tympanic membrane. This is tympanic membrane, and it is going to otic ganglion, and from otic ganglion it descends through the postganglionic auriculotemporal nerve to the trigeminal nerve, which is a branch of trigeminal nerve, and supplies the parotid gland, and this increases salivary flow, increases salivary secretion. You can see this is functioning by just even thinking, just you think of some food you like so much. The moment you think of that food or you smell that food, you will have a serous discharge coming out. It is a gush of serous discharge. Gush of serous discharge coming out. So this is parotid parasympathetic supply. And we have another supply that is known as parasympathetic to sympathetic supply. So this is sympathetic supply from another nucleus in the brain. So from another nucleus we have a sympathetic supply, and this is sympathetic nerves which supply the parotid gland. What is the function of sympathetic supply? Sympathetic supply increases blood flow to the gland. So when the saliva is produced, the blood flow to the gland is stimulated by sympathetic supply. And this is the skin over the face. This is skin over the face. Now please understand, I am going to explain you one syndrome known as Fraze syndrome, also known as gustatory sweating syndrome. Gustatory sweating. Gustatory sweating syndrome or Fraze syndrome is the other name of this. So gustatory sweating is actually the symptom which we get. So we call it as gustatory sweating syndrome or Fraze syndrome. Now while I am doing parotid surgery, see, I am doing parotid surgery, I am removing the parotid gland. Please observe, I am removing the parotid gland completely now. After removing the parotid gland, at the time of removal of parotid gland, I am injuring the auriculotemporal nerve. I have injured some branch of auriculotemporal nerve. Gradually what happens, in 2 to 3 months, the parasympathetic postganglionic auriculotemporal nerve is injured. Now this sympathetic nerves will go on this, and it will slowly produce branches which will supply the skin like this. So now you see the auriculotemporal nerve. What is the reason for Fraze syndrome? Means it is due to injury to auriculotemporal nerve, also known as postganglionic parasympathetic nerves, also known as postganglionic parasympathetic nerve injury. It is also known as postganglionic parasympathetic nerve injury, and abnormal innervation of that nerve by sympathetic nerve results in gustatory sweating. Characteristic clinical feature are the patient develops pain, erythema, and sweating over the face on just seeing the food, not even eating the food, on seeing the food itself. That phenomenon is known as gustatory sweating. This syndrome happens usually 2 to 3 months after operation. This happens after 2 to 3 months after parotidectomy operation. So now tell me how I would have prevented this problem. How I would have prevented this problem. So the thing I would have prevented this, while I am operating itself, what I should have done is, while I am operating itself, I should have kept a membrane or a muscle between the operative site and the skin like this. So it would have been prevented by, how to prevent this syndrome? Please don't forget, prevented by. It is prevented by keeping a muscle flap. Usually we keep sternomastoid flap, like sternomastoid muscle will be kept between the skin and operative area. Sternomastoid muscle flap or temporalis muscle flap, some muscle flap or any membrane is kept. Any membrane should have been kept, will prevent this, would have prevented this. So because even if there is a reinnervation, those two guys, they cannot supply the skin. Or else this should be treated by what method? How to treat this case? This case of Fraze syndrome is treated by, please don't forget, by latest treatment is Botox injection, botulinum toxin injection. Botox injection is the latest treatment of this Fraze syndrome. Just remember this point. This is the latest treatment, means what is the old treatment? The old treatment is, we cut the glossopharyngeal nerve at the tympanic membrane. Please observe this picture. So the glossopharyngeal nerve, I told you, will be crossing the tympanic membrane. I will cut this nerve at the level of tympanic membrane. This is a old treatment. What is the name of that treatment? Old treatment. That is known as Jacobson's tympanic neurectomy. Jacobson's tympanic neurectomy should be done. So this is a old treatment, Jacobson's tympanic neurectomy. We have to do Jacobson's tympanic neurectomy in those days. So this is not done nowadays because we have an excellent treatment, Botox injection. Wherever there is reddened area, we will put Botox injection, and this is confirmed by an investigation of choice. What is the investigation of choice for this Fraze syndrome? It is starch iodine test. Please don't forget, it is starch iodine test. So this problem is confirmed by a test known as starch iodine test. So this is a snapshot picture, very important for your exam. Please don't forget Fraze syndrome, high yield topic for your exams. From patient for whom total conservative paroidectomy done, you can see how nicely the dissection being done and the entire branches are very clearly preserved. You can see the, so Fraze syndrome, please don't forget the investigation of choice is this. Investigation of choice is starch iodine test. Starch iodine test is the investigation of choice. Okay, starch iodine test is the investigation of choice for Fraze syndrome. So we prevent it by using flaps like sternomastoid flap, temporalis flap, insertion of artificial membrane are the things we use for this. And please don't forget the latest treatment is this. We will put injection, Botox injection, in whichever areas there is abnormal innervation, that place we put Botox injection. Take a photograph of the starch iodine test and we will put a injection in abnormally red areas, Botox injection test. So what is